Hi there. We are so excited to be here. I'm Erin Rose Widener, and I am here with Lori Schwartz.
Hi, everybody.
It's so nice to see you.
It's great to be here at NAB Show 2024. Woo!
Another NAB.
Another NAB and another great year of a lot of new technologies and a lot of converging things at the same time. It's really exciting.
And so, Lori, you have you're doing a lot here.
Yes.
You always do a lot here.
Yes.
Can you talk us
Absolutely. So under our banner StoryTech, I'm running a show floor tour program, which is a product that we've developed over time at a lot of different trade shows. And at NAB, we're specifically doing it so that people can go on a tour that's specific to their workflow or their community. So we actually have a machine learning and AI tour. We have a new workflows tour, which is focusing on virtual production. We have an overview show for folks that have never been to NAB before, and we have a data tour as well. And it's all broken out so that if you're needing like an omakase, like a quick hits, chef's taste of what's on the floor, a 2-hour walk around with a professional to sort of explain what's on the floor, and then we hope everyone goes back and checks into what they want. But it's all there to contextualize the show because there is a lot going on, and not everybody has hours and hours to figure out exactly where they need to go.
Yeah, that's so true. Now, I know you don't have favorites, so we're not there are no favorites here, but are there some highlights or some booths that you're seeing that are doing things that are innovative that you're really enjoying when you're hitting these booth tours?
Well, of course, I love the Verizon booth.
Thank you for that, Lori.
I actually do like the story that you're telling about what's happening at live events and in venue, because I think that's really exciting. Both as someone who is a big sports fan, I grew up with the New York Islanders, and so I'm very excited that NHL is here. And talking about what's happening to power in venue to not only make the experience for the sports franchise better, but also for the consumer. So that's really exciting to me. I think AWS, Row, and a bunch of other booths have really exciting showcases of what's happening in screen control. So the whole nature of the workflow of how movies are being made in virtual production, how LED walls are being controlled, what's happening with Unreal Engine, and just the very nature of post-production moving to the front of the pipeline. All of that is actually live being demonstrated at a lot of those booths. So I think that's really exciting. And then in South Hall this year is a new creator lab that really centers on the creator economy, and that's huge and growing. And I don't think people realize the millions of dollars being spent in the creator economy. And the other really interesting sort of sub-trend that's happening and that's being spoken about a lot of the panels is that because of the strikes, because of COVID, and just because of the nature of the industry, a lot of independent filmmakers are now throwing up their own shingle. Yeah. And so this concept that W-2s are going to be going away, and you have all these independent professionals who are making their way in the business, doing what they do best, but doing it outside of a big studio system. And so these are all trends that are all coalescing around the show.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I think you hit everything. And there's so much, like we could do a section on each of those segments that you talked about, because I think it's so true, even like with the LED wall workflow and moving that post-production to the front of that production workflow, we've been seeing that for so long now, and now we're actually seeing that in action and starting to be streamlined and smarter and all of that.
It's so interesting too, because even in the virtual production workflow, there are new changes happening daily. So we've all heard so much about AI. Yep. And what we're trying to do here on the show floor is move away from the boogeyman of those two letters and actually talk about cases. And so Gen AI has come up a lot, predictive analysis has come up with machine learning. And so if you go to certain booths, you're going to actually hear what the real story is about how they're leveraging AI. But in virtual production right now, Gen AI is becoming a way to build the background, to build a story world. Yeah. And so now filmmakers and creatives can actually create worlds that they never could do before on a budget. Yeah. And so the whole world of storytelling, I think, is really opening up.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think it's also really interesting what you hit on, even with like independent film, right? And how I think these filmmakers are, with these tools, right, they're able to create these worlds that they weren't before. And so it's just so exciting.
Yeah.
And it's going to open up that kind of new idea of filmmaking, new stories, where we get back to storytelling. We get back to the
totally
actual script.
And just to once again tie it back to what you guys are doing, it's that 5G connection that's going to really matter, because if someone's in Kansas and they're uploading files to the cloud on a live shoot, that connection is going to be more important than ever. And that workflow, the way that content is going to move around up to the cloud, back down to whoever's editing, and the ability for all the different parties in the workflow to be able to view the content in real time, that's a really important story too. So all of this stuff, it's harder and harder to separate out the trends, because they all coalesce into workflow.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this was so great. Oh my gosh, Lori, what a great way to kick us off.
I'm so happy to be here. This is the happening booth, ladies and gentlemen, here at NAB Show 2024. You got to be here. Las Vegas, baby.